Welcome to Chia. This is an open world exploration game with a linear storyline where you can possess almost anything in the world. My name's Michelle. I'm a sound designer at A Shell in the Pit.
And I'm Millie, and I'm also a sound designer at A Shell in the Pit.
And I'm Em, and I do sound design, and I did audio direction for this game. And we're just gonna talk a little bit about the sound design. One thing that was interesting and challenging about this game was that there were a lot of cutscenes.
Oh yeah.
Do we know how many in total?
I don't remember, but it wasn't even just how many there were, it was the content of them. They were pretty complex. Luckily, Murray helped us implement them. We had to break them up.
It was close to a feature.
I'm looking at the sheet right now. I think there are like 200, unless there are some that aren't listed on the...
200? That seagull was Millie.
Like, that sounds like me. Yeah, that's me.
That's you.
I think I kind of hurt my throat in one of those seagulls.
Goodbye, Millie.
Hi.
A really cool part of this game is you can be any object.
Yeah. And that sound was made with M's voice, my voice, and a siku instrument, which is like a wind instrument, and it was all like slowed down in playback and put a lot of reverb in it, and it sounded cool. So I used it.
So that sound ended up being the base for a lot of the magic in the game. Millie shared the source, and it was built upon and used in a lot of cutscenes and different elements. The fact that you could possess and turn into anything in the game made for a lot of impact sounds. We ended up recording each object and each surface type separately and then layering them together. So we grouped each object into a category. We had rock, ceramic, glass, wood, all kinds of different metallic objects, lots of food objects, and plastic. And then there was also special ones that needed their own sound that didn't fit into any category. And then these were our surface types and object types for different sizes on each surface. This is what all that ended up looking like in Fmod. We have pitch and volume curve for intensities. We had to be really generic with all of our impact recordings because it had to work on any of the surfaces. And then here's what some of the surfaces sounded like. And then this was an early test of all that. We had this great testing level. Everything's not fine-tuned yet, but just wanted to show how many impacts there were, and those surfaces around the side was for testing as well. So I would possess each of these objects and jump around on those surfaces.
Is that also you, Millie?
I think that was MC.
Oh.
Most of the animals are just your voice, right?
Yeah, it was all the animals except for the cat. She can do a better cat. And I couldn't do the dolphin. That was too hard.
I also appreciated how the animal vocals ended up being a way to pinpoint where they are.
Yeah.
And each animal had a lot of foley as well. There's also a ukulele that you can play. This was mapped out by John Robert Metz, the composer on this game, recorded by Gord and edited by Mauricio. And there was an incredible amount of work put into recording every note here. And then when you get lost,
So the process for this was we were given recordings in the form of sausage files here with different variations. So essentially we had to pick the best one, clean it up a little bit, and then organize them into 5 different phrases. So when you open your map up in game, it'll give you a kind of vague range depending on how close to a location you are.
So there was these sequences where you'd play along to the music, and Millie had to fill in the background selectively.
Yeah, this was a very challenging scene to edit.
I'm muting the music here.
It was really hard to match. You had to kind of match the movement, but also match it to the music because of the stomping.
Yeah.
And that, like, especially like when they cross over, yeah, it was pretty difficult choosing which one plays and those.
I feel like these were an interesting balance between making it feel lively but not wanting to distract from the music too much. The next few sequences we talk about are near the end of the game, so I just wanted to give a spoiler warning.
Typically in the ambiences we did for the game, there is day, afternoon, evening, and night, but when you're in the belly, it's just the belly. So to make things dynamic, we put in some stuff to cover the glowing veins and the glowing eyeballs, and we have some scatters for little squelches and farts everywhere. When you unlock that, there's a really cool cutscene that goes from Tchia to through the tunnels and then in front of the door.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had them cut in 5:1. So when everything's just swirling around you, you really just feel like you're entering the tunnels.
Nice.
That's probably one of my most favorite sounds I did for this. Yeah, I tried not to make it super gross, but I think that was kind of the point, to be gross.
Yeah.
There's a line though.
So all the voice acting was done by actors from New Caledonia. And this was a mixture of the actor plus me trying to whisper over top of it. It created many layers of whispering and stretched it out a little and added gurgly sounds.
Speaking of gross, I did cross the line. I had to.
Were there like farts in there or something?
I sneaked some farts in there. I wanted to have fun. And this is like a huge session of sliding and squelching and stuff.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a lot of layers of my voice and yeah, all the slime that I could find, gory stuff. I mean, trying not to be so gross, but it's kind of hard with that scene.
Yeah.
I like that we had the opportunity to do simple sounds like all the foliage and footsteps to all the wild stuff with Miavora.
Yeah, there was a huge range with what we got to design. Oh yeah, I loved you.
This part was so funny when I did.
What did you use?
I flipped. There's like a mat. You know that mat that you stand on when you're standing on your desk?
Yeah.
So I flipped it and I like wet my hands and started doing little impacts. I think I also used like this kitchen glove, just smacking it on the mat. Oh, and a wet towel.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.